Hello and welcome to the Scottish Interior and Lifestyle Podcast, the show where we chat all things homes, interiors, designs and the people behind them.
I'm Michelle Logue, interior designer and founder of Interiors 45.
And I'm Declan Hattie, social media manager and founder of Hat and Tie Social.
Every week we'll bring you inspiring guests, practical tips, the latest trends and the answer to all your interior questions.
So, welcome to the Scottish Interior and Lifestyle Podcast, proudly sponsored by Tyrrells Home Furnishings. Let's get into today's episode. And we are back, episode 3, season 3 of the Scottish Interior and Lifestyle Podcast. Michelle, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
How's your week been? What have you been up to?
My week has been busy. I have been working on a couple of good projects, installs this week, so it's getting to the exciting part. So
Love that.
I know, it's been good. So I feel as if it's been all work and no play.
All work,
week.
no play.
Mm-hmm. You?
No, I've been the opposite. So.
There's a surprise.
No, it's been good. I've just been here and I was down at Trump Turnberry.
Nice.
That DJT, he's got some ballroom down there.
You have some life, I'll tell you.
I know. We jollied in the coast.
Fantastic.
But, it's good. So I think we should just get right into it. So today's guest is someone we've been looking forward to having on for a while. If you've ever found yourself scrolling through some incredible home transformations on the socials, then there's a good chance you'll have come across future building developments.
Mm-hmm.
From award-winning extensions and renovations to building one of Scotland's most recognised construction brands, Connor has created a business that's become trusted by homeowners across the country. Connor, welcome to the Scottish Interior Podcast.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure.
Oh, it's been great, and we have, like I said,
yes.
we've been trying to narrow you down for a while, haven't we?
Yep.
But you're just booked and busy.
We have been stressful. Busy couple of weeks. I keep saying that. I feel like I run on adrenaline, as I said to you, the last 5 years in business. So, but can't complain. It's been really good.
Well,
so
it's great to have you finally here. I think we've tried, like that's when you said you come in, we haven't met in person. We used to have, but we tried to speak to you at the
that's right.
Winners' Lounge last year at the Home Improvement Awards, which is nearly a year. No?
Nearly a year, coming up a year.
So
you've definitely been busy. So it's great to have you.
We all were enjoying ourselves that night too much.
Yes, I think we all were.
No comment.
No comment.
So, Connor, we normally kind of start it. Let's take it right back. Tell us, who's Connor and how did this become the monster it's become?
God, so my dad obviously started his own company when he was very young. He then took a step back in business a couple of years ago, 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, sorry. And 5 years ago I decided to sort of take the reins and make it something of my own, change the whole name, and it's basically kicked off for there. So if we starting for myself and 3 other guys, 2 joiners, the labourer, then turned into progressing and growing every year. So for 2 vans now to 7 vans in the road and 12 guys behind me. Like you say, God, over maybe 100 projects done. And winning all these awards makes up for it as well. It shows the guys the recognition and the hard work that we put in as well. So gives us a bit of joy back that we're doing a good job and we mean business.
Love that.
I know.
And was construction always a career that you looked at?
Pretty much. I was always into like the craft and design, the graphic side of things with the drawing, looking at drawings, and then all the sort of technical side. I always wanted to fix stuff, put stuff together. I think even for being a young boy, it was like a wee forklift toy car, not that electric toy my dad had, and I was devastated when he binned it and stuff like that. So I was always looking up to him in the construction industry and wanting to be better. So it was so, but he's still very much a part of the business. Don't get me wrong, my dad's still there. Just doesn't take all the stress and decisions, but he's still there, and I still lean on him every day to get his advice, basically.
Yeah.
So he's not retiring just yet.
Amazing. So what age are you?
I am 31 this year.
So 31. You've got a wife and 3 kids that we chatted about earlier.
Yeah.
You're running a super successful business, and you're only 31. So when did you take over really from?
So that was 5 years ago in April. So April 2021, I took over. Well, I was on the lead up to that. I was already sort of in charge. You know what I mean? I was a foreman on the jobs and dealing with the clients, dealing with what was needed that day at the end of the day, material wise. Making sure the guys were in check, the subcontractors were in check, and then I would relay all this to my dad that evening. So again, I sort of had that role with my dad's company, so it was quite easy for me just to sort of reverse it and be the director.
Yeah.
The only difference was a bank account. You know what I mean? That was
Yeah.
having the funds there and dealing with that side of things. Dealing with clients a bit more, dealing with architects. But don't get me wrong, I like to be on site with the guys. I'm still, like you say, I'm only 31. I like to be on the tools as best as I can. Spoke about it a couple of months ago on socials. My mental health took a wee bit of a dip, and I feel as if it was just adding the time on the tools.
Yeah.
So I enjoy being on the tools. I think it helps me mentally. So that's when my dad comes into play. Obviously, I give him a wage, and he's the contracts manager. So he'll go see clients, see architects until I'm actually on that job.
Yeah.
Because you know yourself, with your line of work, we're booked up at least 6-8 months in advance. So me actually jumping about day to day, I might not get to that client until your job's actually going to be starting in your diary. So it's good for my dad then to meet up with the client, reassure them, tell them the sort of situation, the stages, what's going to be happening, the process, and then deal with architects if there's stuff changing and detail, structural work. He can still have that experience to go reassure them basically until I'm on the job.
That you touched on that, because actually, and we all can notice it for our own businesses as well, that no matter how many plates that you try to spin and how many like hats that you try to wear
That's it.
within your business,
You can't
it
do it
just
all.
physically can't be done.
It's not
and it
possible.
does, like,
No with 3 wains in a week.
No, definitely not.
And that's one of the important things as well. I stress about it on social media a lot. Over the last year, I've learned that my mental health, my physical health, you realise you're not a robot. You can't do it all.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing in construction industry, and family life balance makes a big difference as well. It's hard to, if you can perfect that, I think you'd be doing all right, you know what I mean? But not everyone can.
That's what I was going to say when you were saying, like, we do this, we've went for X amount of people to vans and like loads of employees and stuff. Also, that brings its own stresses, but like you went over that as if it was like everybody does it and it's easy. That's no mean feat. Like, it's really, it's not especially like.
Guys message me all the time and they ask, like, how do you do it? How's it possible? I think I was born in it, you know what I mean? And I sort of grasp it for a young age. A lot of guys used to say to me, you're on a different level. I think they could sort of see that. It's all about organisation. If you can organise, get ahead of the game the week before, the month before, you can organise all your guys, you can organise the subcontractors, the suppliers with the materials, then your jobs run a lot smoother. So that's not just me, that should be every job. A job will run a lot smoother. So organisation is key. I always say that. And if I'm not organised, I'm totally stressed. You know what I mean? And everything's gone to shit, basically.
Tidy desk, tidy mind.
Yeah.
That's it.
So have you seen any other, like, did you just always work with your dad, or did you have experience with other?
No, so I learned off my dad when I was an apprentice for a couple of years. But my dad had obviously joiners at hand with him. It was in his team, and I probably learned after their mistakes more than their advantages, as you could say. So I then learned how not to do things. I embed it into my guys. I always say that I talk like a parrot and maybe repeat myself 4 or 5 times, right? Because the guys will turn around and say, you've already told me that. And I went, I just want to make sure I've told you, because then if you do a mistake, I'm blaming you, I'm not blaming myself. So I'm quite bad for that, to be honest. And it's only because I learned that side. I learned off these guys' mistakes more than I did probably what they should do right, you know what I mean, back in the day.
Rather than you repeat it 5 times, you should just get them to repeat it back to you.
Yeah.
Well, I know.
Tell me what I said. So tell me what the plan is.
Sometimes I even write it in a WhatsApp about 4 or 5 times. And then it's like,
have you got this?
So
in
at least
head?
you've actually wrote it in black and white. You still get it wrong. But no, the guys are good, to be fair.
And that's what I was going to say. So I assume then you have got quite exacting standards for the guys that work for you, because obviously you are really
100%.
conscientious and want to do the right thing for everybody. So you want your team to be exactly the same.
Yeah, you can't, like you say, you can't provide the quality of service and the quality of work without a good team behind you. You can't do it all yourself.
Yeah.
So the guys I've got are honestly second to none. I get a few messages even about the team for obviously clients we work on, but even when I do content, guys message me to say, like, where do you find good guys? And I says, it is, believe it or not, this day and age, it's hard to find good guys, especially younger generation of guys. But again, it's one of the ones, once you get them, you don't want them to leave, you know what I mean, because they're hard to get back.
And you just touched on content there. Like, it's funny, and we kind of spoke before we come on here about consistency being key. And it's amazing, having watched you over the last couple of years, like, you're on it. You're always there.
Aye, that's like a second job. So
it is.
Content creating it is like a second job.
They don't realise the
and also
importance of it.
touch base with you about definitely doing some content creating because you've just not got, like I mentioned again previously about family work life balance. If you're happy, obviously you're happy, of course, with your family, but if you have that work life balance coming away from your family happy, getting into your work environment, you're a happier
Yeah.
person, you're better at your work.
Yeah.
You're a
And do you
natural
feel that putting yourself out there and showcasing the business on socials works to your advantage in the way that you're gaining a lot more business and clients?
I think people like to see. I always use it. The last definitely 2 to 3 years, Instagram, Facebook became an advantage. My first 2 years in business was purely advertising on magazines, seeing all the vans, sign written and wrapped. But the last 2 to 3 years of content on Instagram, Facebook's definitely worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's because the size and scale of your projects I'm showcasing
Yeah.
and how quick the guys can turn it around and do it, how tidy they are, how professional they are. That all obviously comes into play.
Yeah.
People see, I try post stories every day, or I did try, I've been a bit bad for it the last couple of weeks, but I was posting every single day and guys would message me like, my God, you've done that in a day. People wouldn't believe it. And I says, no, honestly. So then I started thinking in my head, right, I'm going to show people what we do. I'm going to showcase it every single day, what my team puts in. But then it came to a point, I'm like, I can't be about 3, 4 jobs a day and showcase what I mean. I split it up, so I've maybe have 3 guys on one job, 2 or 3 guys in another, and such and such. So we're running 4 or 5 jobs at a time, and they're big jobs. I can't physically be on 4 or 5 jobs at a time. I will go around them, but see, to actually spend the day there, do a bit of work and content create it. So it's more like daily updates and weekly updates I've now started doing. So that's when I need someone in your field to maybe come out and start
And
helping us.
It's putting me to shame.
I know it's funny actually. Just talking about what you're saying there, like it's amazing the difference, but from a client's perspective, of putting themselves out there. And you and I have had this chat of late.
It's me going to get in trouble.
You're going to get in trouble. No, basically putting yourself out there, putting a face behind the brand, and actually showcasing what you're doing, the impact and the results speak for themselves. Because like they're the brand sitting behind us, Tyrrells. Every time we'll put a finished product out, it does good because the end product always looks amazing. But when you're actually in at the thick of it, showing it, this is it. And why I was going to this was the Greenup project. Like, sorry, not Greenup, Giftnook.
Giftnook.
That is just like,
aye, that's something else. That's like footballer stuff. You know what I mean? That is celebrity stuff that we
even
done.
when I was on site that day with you and Chris, and I was like, where do you start here?
Yeah.
What is this? This is just a big hollow shell. Like,
Yeah.
Chris is like, you need to go up that ladder to film content up there. And I'm like,
I know.
I
know.
But and then actually I seen
Yeah.
yesterday, the stairs are up now. And like, even the customer had also shared as well, saying what a difference having stairs. Like, and up and
Yeah,
down
aye,
a
that
ladder,
that
so-
one was a gift nut gaff, right
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
But these areas we're in, don't get me wrong, I've been in Newton Mayor's gift nut now for the last 3 years. Once you're sort of in these areas, and like I say, it makes a big difference. The guys are fully uniformed, the vans are sign written wrapped, and obviously they leave a nice, clean and
Yeah.
tidy job,
Yeah.
so they can see also. You know, everyone's watching. You know, everyone's watching when you're in these sort of estate areas. People are watching, so they're saying, right, these guys started then, and say you do finish it in 12, 15 weeks. It's like, my God, they were dead quick at that. You know what I mean? And this is a finished result they've left.
Yeah.
So then it's word of mouth, believe it or not. A lot of people say that, how do you get your work? But a lot of it is word of mouth. So it is. And in these areas especially, people see your vans, and if you're good enough for them, you're good enough for the next one in these areas, because they've all got money as well. But
Which helps.
well,
Well,
of course,
does.
it helps,
It does.
definitely. There's nothing worse than people that then struggle with it, and you're scrimping and scraping, and you're trying to make it look nice, and it's
Yeah.
hard to make
Yeah.
it look nice if you're scrimping and scraping, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
It's not always worth posting when it gets like that, to
Aye.
be honest. But
Yeah.
I know. And that's what I say to you, isn't it? It's like I get so involved with my clients, and I've been in installs this week, but I'm so engrossed when I go in and I'm chatting to the client and I'm chatting to the joiner and I'm chatting to the decorator and whatever.
mhm.
And then I leave and Declan's like, so did you do something when you were there, like live footage and everything? I'm like, oh no, I forgot. I was so busy chatting and whatever. And it's like people do think though it's like
Yeah.
a before and an after and it happens like that. It
No,
doesn't.
no. I
There's
wish
so
it
much
was.
time that in between where
Yeah.
you feel like, oh God, this is quite boring. Like
But
today
really
we've
the
done
key
this.
is
But
showcasing, actually getting that middle bit.
yeah.
Uh,
But
Aye,
people
the
like to
before,
see
during
real
and
life
after.
stuff,
Yeah.
which I
Aye.
think that's becoming more apparent, isn't it? On
Absolutely.
social media, everybody likes
Yeah.
to see like this is how it started,
I
this
know
is how it's
I've brought
going.
them up before, but like total different scale. But do you follow the dodgy gardener?
I don't know.
I follow him.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! Like I am, and it's as if like, obviously the algorithm's learning. As soon as he's got a new reel up, it's there. So they're on my grid.
Yeah.
Sorry, on my timeline, ready to my
Yeah.
feed. Sorry, should I say what am I going on about here?
Are you a social media manager?
I know, honestly, maybe words on but it just shows you how like because it knows I'm engrossed. I'm watching the
Yeah.
series that he's putting out, so it just
That's
And
it.
he is
It's
dodgy.
being persistent is a big thing. If people constantly see your
Yeah.
brand popping up, and I'm a big believer of that, I always say advertise when you're busy, because if you're busy, you'll not feel the effects of it.
yeah.
And people constantly seeing your brand about everywhere, it then sticks in their head. You know what I mean?
But also, you're
it's
putting
memorable.
yourself out there. You're taking accountability, so you're there for the good
Yep.
parts of social media, also the parts where people can say
Yep.
what they like. But you're continually promoting a positive person on screen. You're showing, what's happening during projects, like how fast it can be done, but also being realistic about this is the
Aye,
challenges
that's
of
it. It's real life,
like,
yeah.
It is, and that's what people like to see. It's not.
Yeah.
It isn't 60-minute makeover. We can't
No.
just say right here we go.
Problems occur every day, and I always say that to clients. I say clients get very, very stressed, and I says,
Yeah.
look, this is my job not to be stressed. There's solutions to every problem.
Yeah.
Obviously, the architect at the time might not see that behind the wall or see that under the floor, or right, this is the solution, how we fix it. It's not the end of the world, right? We're here to do it, we'll do it right. We don't ever cut corners. It's something I've never done. Compared to there's people out there, you hear stories in the construction industry, and things get about, and you're like, nah, it shouldn't have been done that way.
Yeah.
Before you know it, it's costing you years later to redo.
Mhm.
So it's definitely
Yeah.
reputation
And there's so much benefit to having a full team doing a project. I've worked in projects in the past where somebody said, I want to use my own joiner, I want to use this, and
doesn't work. Aye.
it's much harder. It's much harder for me to manage like everybody else, because they don't answer to me like they haven't,
Yeah.
that way. And it's like, whereas if you work with a team of guys, you're managing them, you're saying that you're in next, you're going after that, this is the
Yeah.
time scale, whatever. For me, for the client, for everybody, it's
It,
less
it
stress.
doesn't work. I've been in the situation before, and it's guys you're not used to. At least then, my guys work for me week in, week out. See, all my subcontractors, they're not actually under Future, but they work for me week in, week out.
Yeah.
So if I've got an issue, I can phone them that day, and they'll be there within a couple of hours or the
Yeah.
next day. At least they could say, no, Connor, I'm held up today, I'm going to need to be there tomorrow morning. That's fine. But see if I'm phoning a random guy that doesn't know me, I
Yeah.
hardly use, but I'll be there next week, and it's like, no, you're holding the whole job up now, mate, and
Yeah.
I've got a time frame to meet, and I've got wages to pay, and I've got stage payments to get in. That's when it mucks you up. So
Yeah.
it never ever works. I never agree to really taking it on unless it's maybe the client themselves and they're going to be there to do it themselves, or the client's a project manager and he can be really on the ball, because
Yeah.
if you're not in that field, you're not going to be on the ball
Yeah.
and time it when I need them there. So it never works.
I think you had a question for Connor.
From what, the public?
No,
No.
not yet.
Oh, I did have a question.
Oh,
You
God.
don't have a question.
Oh yes, I know what you're going to say. So you mentioned there working with architects. What about working with interior designers?
So I've worked with 2 in the past. So if you want to give me a business card, Michelle, I'll certainly work with you.
But what
no,
was your
but-
What was
experience?
your experience like? Spill the
I
tea.
don't mind it, to be fair. So because to be fair, the client deals with the interior designer. So the one I done last year, I done a beautiful big project in Giffnock. It came the runner up for the home of the year. So that one had an interior designer, and it mostly it was all oak. It was archways are all in, and it was all oak, and the critical doors, but natural light, everything else. I'm totally fine with that because it makes my project even look better. So I'm totally fine with it. If it's in the client's budget and they want to do it, I'm totally fine with it. I'm for
That's
it.
good, eh?
Right.
So it is.
Because sometimes it's like, shit, here she comes. Like, what?
Oh, if you're one of the ones.
It's like, no, sorry, that needs
no.
to move over 200 millimeters.
Aye.
What? Like, can
No,
you?
don't-
And I'm like, no, that needs to go.
Don't
That's
get me
not
wrong,
set
we've been in situations before. Can't think of one off the top of my head, but there's times it's like the guys are looking at me frustrated as if, is that really needed? And I went,
Aye,
just do what they want. They're paying good money. Just
I know.
do what they want. You know what I mean? At
You're
the
in
end of
there
the
with
day,
your
some
pink high vis and your pink hard hat on.
So with
gosh.
some, like I said before, I sometimes cross-examine it and like, right, you sure? Because sometimes I wouldn't do it that way.
Yeah.
But it's like, right, no, that's the way we want it done, or that's the way the interior. Right, okay, if that's what you've agreed,
Yeah.
we'll do it that way.
See, I prefer that. I'm not somebody that goes in and goes, this is exactly the way it needs to be done. I would say to you, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'd like to do. in your
Will it work?
opinion, do you
Yeah,
think that'll work? Is there another way
100%.
we should do it? Blah, blah, blah. And I think everything you've described, although you need all of the skills to make it happen, what you've described is building relationships with people. And
Yeah.
for me, that's what it's all about.
It needs to
It's
be
about,
it needs to be practical. You know what I
totally,
mean? Cost
but
effective to the
Uh-huh.
client.
but being able to communicate with each other on a job is the best thing for the client. And at the end of the
100%.
day, that's what everybody should want
Yeah.
at the end of the job.
100%. And I always say, for architects and interior designers, I say that to the guys, if you give them less hassle and less stress, and it runs so smooth, they're only going to recommend us to the next
Yeah.
client.
Mhm.
And people
Definitely.
with interior designers, believe it or not, are the ones with money that they're going to recommend to you the next client. Because I'll be honest, not everyone gets interior designers involved. The
Yeah.
time they pay the bill warrant, the architect, the fees for the bills, etc. They're like, not really got the budget here
Yeah.
for an interior designer. So don't get me wrong, if they've got that in play, I'll be like, right, well, they mean business here. They're really going for it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So keep them sweet, keep the architect and the interior designer sweet, do what they want to do, and then the boys know that's embedded into them. That right, do what he says, and you move on to the next job, and you're going to recommend me to the next client.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good.
It's good fun.
Aye.
It is good fun. So it is.
It's good fun when
Sometimes
it all
it's
goes well.
sometimes it's no good fun. But depends what you're thinking is fun.
Sometimes
But
it's stressful.
So, guys, just a wee interruption to today's episode. We're thrilled to announce that the Scottish Interior and Lifestyle podcast is proudly sponsored by Tyrrells Home Furnishings. Tyrrells have a wealth of experience of over 90 years within the industry, serving homes across Scotland. So, why don't you head along, give them a visit at their showroom in Hamilton, South Lanarkshire.
So
Aye.
you spoke about mental health and being on the tools helps you to de-stress, like keep your mind
massively,
focused.
aye.
What else would you recommend for that, for kind of mental health, feeling like for the guys that are phoning you and looking up to you? What would you say?
Again, I always say like the family life balance is massive. I mean, some of my guys would work 7 days a week, right? If I let them, I always say no. You need a day of rest.
Yeah.
So you're off a Sunday, right? So they can have overtime a Saturday. I'm all for that if they want. It only helps me out and gets more jobs in the diary for the end of the year. So I'm fine with that. But I always say I'm not a hard boss that way. You know what I mean? Whatever they do in their spare time is up to them. But family life balance is everything to me anyway. So if you can, I've been trying to perfect it the last couple of years, and it can be hard. Before you know it, I always say, I've started saying this again, my phone's going off after 5:30.
Yeah.
I've got 2 phones. I've got a work phone and a personal. And then my wife turns to me at like 7 o'clock, you're still not turned that phone off. So I'm like glued onto it. And I'm like, no, and then you realise, I'm like, she's right. I told myself
nice,
I was going to do this.
Having that mentality for the top button to
Yeah, just to
Yeah.
switch off.
To actually be like,
Yeah.
this is the way we should be doing it. It's actually coming.
Well, you've got to
Didn't
realise that you're impressionable for the younger
Yeah,
guys that
Yeah.
are coming behind you, apprentices,
Yeah.
etc. It's like,
you're the future.
Uh-huh.
That's it. See, I done that pun yesterday myself. I didn't even realise I done it until I said it.
and do you take on apprentices?
So I've went through my first year, believe it or not. Last couple of years, I've got this thing, and believe it or not, the generation, I think, for about, I'm going to probably insult a few people here, 1997, 98, I believe the generation just dipped, right?
Yep.
Whether you
In
agree
terms
with
of
that.
work ethos? you
I
think?
just, everything's internet. So as they've no way to get their hands dirty. They just don't. They want to turn up and get paid and get home, aye. But in terms of actually doing manual work and get physically involved, tore in, visually see, oh, how did he do that? Right, this is what I'm like. This is what I want to do. Back in the day, I mean, I used to love doing all that. You know what I mean? And it's just I'm yet to find. I think I went with about 6 young guys. You know what I mean? To get through to someone,
yeah,
and
I
I've
said this
still
to
yet
you.
to find them.
Yeah.
1995 was the cut off.
Because
Well,
of shooting you.
I'm being generous. I'm saying 97, 98. So I do, but
Aye.
I say that because
But-
I do have a couple of joiners. I think are 96, right, and they are good joiners. But believe it or not, it's just the old school's definitely the best.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation with my dad because again, you envision your future and you think, see if there's not enough young guys coming through the door now, what's it going to be like in 10 years' time? We're all going to be, we're all going to be in the 40s, 50s, crippled there, trying to do, and we're going to be,
Yeah.
you know yourself when you're younger, you're a lot quicker, you're a lot more mobile.
Yeah.
As you get older, I'm like, we're not going to be doing jobs as quick here, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's what's worrying. So is what the next 10 years is
Yeah.
going to be like for me in construction.
I think there was some sort of survey, was it not? And like, what's the most, years ago you would say, what's the most sought after profession? And it would be like a teacher and an air
Aye.
hostess and all that kind of stuff. And lately it's been like a YouTuber an influencer. It's been all these things. And it's
Aye.
exactly what you're saying. It's all
Aye.
about everybody thinks it's really
And
easy.
it's a tough one,
to
but
sit
because
behind.
I think goes back to what we were saying. As much as like you're absolutely no matter means what to become a YouTuber or an influencer, but it's still massively required to be
Yeah.
part of the job to give connotations of that. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the way the world is evolving now
Yeah.
Yeah.
is mind blowing.
Don't get me wrong, there's certain joiners, builders out there.
They
They
won't
would,
touch
they
it.
would, they would rather no, but they would rather be in front of a camera all day, showing
Aye,
them
absolutely. You've got that
fitting a
aspect.
worktop, fitting a door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've not got time for that.
No.
How you make money?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've just, because certain guys have said that to me in the past. How do you know video yourself fitting all this? And I'm like, I've not got time for that, mate. I'm here. This client's hired me to do a professional job.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I'm going
Turn
to do
up with a camera
4
crew
hours
and
of editing.
tripods.
I know, that's what I
Wait till
mean.
you get Declan on site. He'll be there.
Aye,
Well, you're
but
fitting.
I don't know how.
worktops.
And then people's like, oh, you can get brand deals and this and that. And I says, I'm not interested in being
Aye.
that type of joiner.
Yeah.
I'm here to run a building company and make a difference to people's lives. I'm not here to make a difference to
Yeah.
Milwaukee or DeWalt here. I'm here to make a difference to,
Other
you know,
brands are available.
you know what I mean? But that's my point. And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, if that's what you want to do and that's what it's for.
Yeah.
But I think that's some generation would rather that. I'm like, that's no joinery. To me, that's no joinery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like obviously people have changed, trades have changed, all that as you're saying about generations, but building costs have also like massively changed as well. Like post COVID, we hate saying that word, but post COVID everything seems to have gone up.
Changed, yeah.
We did have Martin Daly on at one point, you know Martin. He did tell us about the sort of cost for an extension. So what would you say to people if they were thinking about doing an extension? What's their first sort of protocol? Where do they start?
Definitely, and if you're serious about it, I always say get an architect involved. If it's an idea and you're looking to get a budget cost, and give you a budget cost of what your sort of idea is. But again, I can't intervene on the cost, as in if a structural engineer gets involved and then he puts in this big large scale beam, this big massive skylight, and he wants these timbers compared to what I'm thinking right now. I says that all exaggerates cost, obviously. But I always say about 2.5 a square metre is for a single story extension. Then that depends on, like I say, that's just a square foot of the extension. If I'm then going into the house, putting big structural beams in, posts in, get big concrete pads, bifold doors, big skylights, or you're putting zinc instead. This is just for like maybe block and rough cast or facing brick. If I'm putting zinc material, a warm rubber roof with the new rubber, that's a lot dearer than a tiled roof. So it's all these aspects that come into the consideration. So for a standard single story extension, I would say you could go have 2.5 square metres, but you can't really price it like that. You can't. And the sort of scale I'm working on just now, I mean, people are doing home extensions with a full loft, a hip to gable transformation, want me to do a full home reno. It's like, I can't give you a square metre price for that. So I do a lot of advertising at the home building renovation show. And it's the most common question I get asked. They show you a photo and say, how much for this? And I went, how long's a piece of string, mate? And the guy's looking at me and I went, I mean, you don't even know what's involved, what you're putting in the room, blah, 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 what's structurally going to be involved there. You can't ask me that. I says, you need plans in place. You definitely do, for a more accurate cost.
And is it naturally a moving picture? Like if you agree a price, it's 45 grand, but could it end up being 60 grand?
No. If you're showing me the plan and the drawing from the architect, and they've got all the engineers' drawings, and nothing's going to be changed, and I tell you 45 grand plus VAT, that's what it's going to be. You know what I mean? I'm not going to change that unless you say, Connor, we want you to do this additional room in here, or then that becomes an extra. Unless the architect changes. Unless something changes on the drawing. I mean, I
get involved.
Interior designers, biggest cause.
Bad news.
But
we go in at the end and be like, right, we'll have this.
The main thing I always say, the thing that wins me over compared to most builders is I don't take any money up front. So a lot of building companies are like, how do you work like that? But I says, because if you're a good builder, you should be able to fund a project. And I says, I work stage payments. So stage payments can, if it's an extension, like you said, for example, it'd be foundations and drainage would be your first payment. So I should be able to dig out the fund, get the concrete poured, do all the underbuild, backfill it with all the drainage, and then get a payment off the client. If they don't pay me that stage, I'm not going to the next stage. It's dead easy. Whereas some builders in Scotland will take 20-30% up front of the total cost, which can be really severe for a client to pay before they've even they're not even on site yet. I'm going to say to you, Michelle, I'm not coming to your job in 3 months' time, and then I'm like, I want 30% up front. I could die next week.
Exactly
So
that.
how do you survive off that? You
We
know what I
hope
mean?
you don't, but
You know what I mean? Well,
I was talking to an insolvency practitioner. She's a member of my business network, and she was saying some of the most common things that she has to deal with is trades taking deposits up front and then no fulfilling the job. And she
Yes,
says, and
exactly.
although like that is one of the things that she has to chase, she said, because technically it should be for that specific job, you should have it put aside so that if anything happens to you, that
Yeah.
client gets their money back. And she
100%.
said 10 times out of 10 that
Doesn't
doesn't
happen.
happen.
Yeah.
Which I hadn't even thought
Yeah,
about until
I
she
think
was
the
talking
biggest
about
thing for me is as well, see if I book a job in and I take, say, 30% deposit, right, a 100 grand job. So they give me 30 grand and I told them, say, the 26th of July, I'm coming. And I don't turn up that day because I've been held up on another job. You better believe they're phoning me saying,
Yeah.
where are you? I've
Aye.
gave you this deposit.
Yeah.
So that gives me a wee bit of leeway and a wee bit of advantage. If I'm, you know yourself, people
Yeah.
add stuff in,
Yeah.
jobs maybe run behind, or someone gets held up, someone goes on holiday, blah, blah, blah. So if it does run behind a day or two before I start that job, I'll be like, well, wait a minute, I've not taken any money up front.
Yeah.
So it's in
This is
in
why.
my best interest
Yeah.
when I start to then start earning more money off you. So it works in my favour that way, believe it or not, and people actually don't
Yeah.
realise that.
Also works in your favour to do the job in a timely fashion, because
Yes, aye.
if you're doing stage payments, you want to get to the final stage to
Exactly.
be paid, do you know?
Exactly.
So it's not like you're going to say, right, I'll start this job, but then I'll go to this other job and I'll fill that in, and then I'll go back to that job and whatever. You're going to
Yeah,
want to have
you
it
want
done.
to finish it.
Yeah.
100%.
Has there been a standout, like a pinch me moment job that you've thought, wow,
Again, I'm going to keep going back to that job in Giffnock.
That-
What we achieved there was beautiful, you know what I mean? Ended up with oak staircase and the basement conversion with the roof terrace. I mean, that roof terrace was like Millionaire's Row.
no.
Don't get me wrong, there's other certain projects throughout the years. The year before that, just a job down at Air Road, a big nice extension on the side, and it was split into 3 stages. I was really proud of that one when we done it at the time. It was like 5 luxury bathrooms we done inside with the full home reno. We went back just last year and done our garage, so I've got really good clientele that way that trust me. Probably before that, my very first one was a bungalow on the same street, believe it or not, and the interior design was beautiful. They didn't have an interior designer, but from the clients, they had a bit of property, they knew a bit about interior design, and their interior design was beautiful, and it just made my videos and my content look even better.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
a good pinch me moment. So there's definitely, there's a good few that I've had over the years.
And is there something that you've thought, we've not done that yet, but that's a dream project for us? That is there something you go, oh, we'd like to have done that?
I'd like to do a new build home. So as for someone, so see if someone was to give me a bit of, obviously, or someone had a bit of land and they say this is what I want to build. I've had a few offers to build them, but it's just not been the right timing.
Yeah.
I says, look, you need to give me more notice. I'm too busy booked up and it
Yeah.
didn't suit them, so they'll get someone else in. So I've had the offer there, but I've not actually had the opportunity yet to do it. So
What are you asked for the most in extensions? Is it still bifold doors? Is it still the big skylights?
no, believe it or not, people are going a lot of sliding doors now.
Mhm.
So it is the last maybe 6-8 months. Bifold doors are sort of coming out and sliding doors are getting the big aluminium sliding
Yeah.
doors.
Mhm.
I don't know why. I don't know. Skylights with flat roofs. I work with a lot of good architects, so a lot of zinc details and cladding details this year. Rustwood cladding and zinc cladding. I'm doing a big project in Jordan Hill. It's going to be a whole load of zinc cladding. So there's all these sort of features, that's not just brick mortar and rough cast anymore, which is good.
Yeah, I think those are the exciting
Oh,
jobs,
absolutely.
though, like as well,
So
because
we
I
bu-
watch like George Clark's Amazing Spaces all the time, and I'm like,
Aye.
oh, that's like just so like the mind of the architect on
Yeah.
how they can convert an aeroplane to this,
Yeah.
or a
But it's
windmill to
amazing
something.
how
It's just
We're
incredible.
all triggered by the use of glass. Let's see, as soon as
Yeah.
you see a property listed on
Mhm.
socials and you go, oh my god, look at that extension, look at the glass, just
Yeah.
absolutely
Well,
draws you in.
What people don't see when you're seeing all that stuff, it's obviously for the U value, it's then how much insulation I need to be put in. So it's the colour.
You're like, oh god.
Aye, that's the colour people don't realise. They're like, how's this extension costing that much? I'm like, well, because of that reason. So that's a killer sometimes for people's extensions these days.
Brilliant. Have you extended your own house?
No yet, but my wife's
I love
pestered
the
me to
yet
do
in
it.
there. The yet, comma, my wife.
So
Yes.
now that we've had the third baby, it's
Aye.
definitely on the cards.
Imminent.
It's not going to be a 2-story anyway, that's for sure. But no, it's always something. We moved a couple of years ago, when I had my daughter and my son. We're obviously overgrown the house, so we moved a couple of years ago now to this bigger house, which is great. Now had this third baby, and it's fine for space, believe it or not, right? It's fine, but it's just that way. It's my wife's Italian, so she likes that whole all the family room and the cooking with the kitchen, and so I know that's the dream. So when that happens, it'll be in the distant future. It's not happening this year, that's for sure.
I love that.
This probably brings me on to my next section, which is questions from the public.
Yes.
Still need to think of a wee jingle for that. We'll get there. This one was asked with you in mind coming on today.
All right.
As if we had planned it.
Someone's getting intel.
I know.
So Hugh from East Kilbride has asked,
Right.
how do you think the definition of a luxury home has changed over the last decade, and what do you think buyers will be looking for over the next 5 to 10 years?
Ooh, clever question.
Good question, Hugh. Thanks.
How it's changed, like definitely with insulation value, 100%.
Yeah.
What you put on compared to what you put into a new build home, that side it's definitely changed.
I think that's a good one to add to that. And it's funny, like, so I'm 31 this year as well. Well, this is my last month of my 30. I'm being 30. I remember growing up and it was like, oh, they've got a conservatory. They've got money. That's that kind of.
Yeah.
Then the conservatory is like nobody, and there's
No one's got it.
No one's
anymore.
got it. Then
Sunrooms more.
sunrooms came. They were the
Sunrooms.
next thing, and now you're starting to see, and I've seen it in the state I used to live in. It's like all these kind of flat roofs with the wooden and glass frontage.
That's,
you know what I
that's
mean?
basically what it is.
That's what it's going to.
And that suits me for a joiner's point of view, because it's the Rustwick cladding. As I say, I've just finished one in Newton Mearns, and I've got another one to do again in Newton Mearns. I feel as if I'm never out that area. And it's all that sort of cladding. But again, for us as joiners, it's good. It's all timber based for us. So definitely that. And as I say, sliding doors are getting popular more than the bifold and the French doors. Big skylights, like really big skylights, to be honest. Like people don't, like you said earlier, we touched base on it. It's how does it get done? Like, how do we get the weight of that skylight onto that roof? It's all these things that come into practicability.
I think what you kind of brushed past it earlier as well, but they're making a comeback, aren't they? Archways.
They are,
Oh yes.
They are.
Yeah.
And the first thing we used to do was go in and square them off and be like, right,
Yeah.
okay, let's
Aye.
have angular
Plasterers
lines
hate them.
and yeah.
I've been following a couple of reno pages on TikTok, and it's them getting in and seeing the old alcoves that have been boxed up, and I'm like, what can we find behind here? And it's just
There's loads of the
it's
originals.
refreshing to see, because it's like they're totally making their way
Hidden,
back.
I would say hidden doors are another one. So it is compared to,
Yes.
sorry, pardon me, feature walls the last couple of years. It's been definitely in, but hidden doors is a new one. So as people say, oh, can I get a hidden door here? I'm like, no, it's not possible.
Yeah.
You know, it's a brick wall or whatever, but that can be a difficult one.
Yeah.
Do you think as a generation, or where we're at now, we're too clinical in our designs?
Well, this is what I was just going to say. I think luxury for people is like everything's hidden away.
Yeah.
Everything is like
Nice
you've
and
got,
neat.
you know, your coffee stations that are behind doors.
Yeah.
You've got your utility or your larder that's no in the kitchen.
Aye.
It's like
Funny you should say that. That's
all
what my
these
wife
things.
wants. Aye.
yeah, it's all. So your kitchen.
Yeah.
Back to your wife. It's like
A hidden
it's
pantry.
a family kitchen, but it's not the family kitchen that we would have had growing up.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like totally. This is the space where we cook, but everything else is hidden away.
Yeah.
I
and
think
out of sight.
the definition of luxury it's changed humongously over the decades. Like, luxury was lavish and kind of probably somewhat in your face to a degree. I mean,
degree.
I'm talking about like interior wise, like, and how like obviously carpentry across woodwork, all that side of things, that's changed now, and we're wanting very much minimalist. That's
Yeah.
what the epitome of
Yeah, definitely.
luxury is, what I perceive it as.
Even
Make a
with
different
the see,
stance.
like even your sink taps and the wall taps,
Yeah.
all this sort of thing. It's like nice. It does look a lot nice, neater, a lot cleaner. Even I think we were at an event and it was Roscoe that touched on it,
Yeah.
and it was all the large format tiling. So for that
Yeah.
perspective, it's very rare that someone will go for just a standard tile anymore. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like large format tiling and wet floor trays and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
And it is really like you talked about Alan from Silverbitch earlier, and I was in seeing Alan at their showroom, and even from a kitchen perspective, there's just like
Yeah.
so much
There's
choice
so much
now,
choice.
like you can do, and
Aye.
it's
Probably too much choice for a client to
yeah,
choose
Yeah.
from. So do they get that overwhelmed with it?
It's the whole decision fatigue, but also
Mhm.
like people are buying new builds. Like I've been doing a couple in Newton Mearns, and it's like still though you've still got house builders that's like your normal sink and your normal
Yeah.
tap and stuff like that. And I'm thinking you're paying like 600 grand for a new
I
build
know.
here, and
Yeah.
you're still getting
Yeah,
like a
that's the
stainless steel
standards again.
sink. Like
Yeah.
and like they've got this client had chose, and he said I didn't realise before, I didn't have your help, whatever, and he'd chosen like brass handles, lovely, but then the stainless steel sink goes in and a stainless steel
Yeah.
tap, and
Yeah.
then a cooker hood that's stainless steel, and I'm just
The
like,
attention to details and all the other just
none of this
Yeah,
is coming
100%.
together.
And
And you just think, God, what a shame.
Mhm.
Which is, I think, why a lot more people are doing extensions of their existing home than
Yeah.
buying new and starting
Yeah.
again.
You're always adding value to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the main advantage for me as a builder. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I always say that. It sort of wins them over as well. I mean, you're always adding value to the home.
Yeah.
It's not like when you go buy a new car and you're going to lose value in it as soon as you drive it
Yeah.
out of a showroom. You're going to add it
Yeah.
on. So
Yeah.
it's always an advantage
Yeah.
for me.
So it's past the public question. What about the Tyrrells 20?
So up next.
Oh,
Up next.
God.
So you need to tell him what he's in a competition
So
here.
you're in the running for, you're actually the second guest that we've had taking
Okay.
part in Tyrrells 20,
Okay.
Connor. So
I
every
need to get
guest
my
that comes
timer.
on the show, get your timer ready, Michelle. Every guest that comes
Oh,
on.
God. Hope Chris hasn't done me dirty here.
You'll be faced with a leaderboard, so we're going to give you some questions to answer within 20
I
seconds.
need to
Okay.
count my hand.
The-
Like, how many you answer? I'm like,
oh, aye.
All right. Okay.
The-
so it's how many you
um,
answer in 20 seconds.
Okay, I get you.
So you're up against Dean.
We had Dean Rowland on
Mhm.
Okay.
last week. He got a solid.
Can I tell him?
Okay, I
Oh,
tell. All right. Pressure's
right,
on.
we can't tell.
Right, you ready?
Right,
Okay.
okay, so we're ready. So these are all based in Glasgow, homes, interiors, and just a mix of some general knowledge in there.
Okay.
All right. So are we ready? 3, 2, 1. Which river runs through Glasgow?
The Clyde. What?
How many sides does a hexagon have?
5.
Which season comes after summer?
Autumn.
What's the opposite of gloss?
Satin.
What joins ceramic tiles together?
Adhesive.
How many Ford Transit
Stop.
Customs were sold? And I'll continue. Were sold last year in the UK to the nearest 1,000.
Oh, God. 70,000.
Oh, close.
Was it?
Right, so what was the answer to the ones you've
So-
asked? Clyde is correct.
Clyde. How many sides does a hexagon have? 6.
Is it 6?
Right, so you never get an answer.
Which season comes after summer?
Autumn. Right.
What's the opposite of gloss? Matte. I've take satin.
Take Matt. Aye.
Aye,
Matt.
oh, sorry, aye.
Aye.
I'm thinking of skirting. You say gloss, I'm like, aye,
What
satin.
joins ceramic tiles together? My answer was grout, but
Oh, aye, together. Sorry, I suppose it's on the back yet. Aye,
Aye,
Aye, it
and
would be
then
grout
how
then.
many Ford Transit Customs were sold last year? 50,000.
50.
I was
aye.
actually
I thought it
shocked
would
at
be
that
more than
question.
that.
Me
aye, I
too.
thought-
So
So we're giving him 3.
are we?
3.
One.
I'll
Oh,
take that. At least it wasn't a 0.
I've got a joint leaderboard, Michelle.
So
Oh, really?
Dean only get 3 too.
Didn't get
All
3
right,
as
well,
well.
give me 4, 3.5.
Brilliant. So what is next for future?
Again, there's no really. I always say that the last 2 years, I definitely. I'm not growing the business anymore. I'm comfortable with the way
Yeah.
I've got it, especially with my family being so young at the minute. It just takes up so much of my time
Yeah.
coming away. So the guys, people, I'm always the one to get. Don't get comfortable being uncomfortable sort of guy, but I thought no, I'm comfortable with the size of team I've got, where the business is at, how many jobs we take on, the reputation, because I
Yeah.
just feel as if I do try push it, I don't want that reputation to ever dip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the guys all know me, they know how we work, they know what we need to achieve in every job, and I prefer it that way now. So especially with the kids being young, because I need to obviously, you know yourself, you get nurseries and schools and
Yeah.
stuff comes up. So before you know it, all that gets in the way as well now. I didn't have that 5 years ago, so now my circumstances have changed that way. So I try to prioritise my family as well as the business, because the business is doing well and I'm fine with where it's going. I'm not greedy that way.
Yeah.
So if I thought maybe in a couple of years, aye, let's go for it, let's try something, but it just ends up, it's more risks, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? The profit margins, believe it or not, don't change.
Yeah.
It's just the stress that
Yeah.
goes up. So it does.
Yeah. And we asked this to a lot of our trade guests last season. That are maybe looking, we'd say to them, for anybody that's maybe looking to join your construction industry, what piece of advice would you give them?
Stick in at school.
Be prepared to
No,
work.
be prepared to get your hands dirty. It's not going to happen overnight, that's for sure. And just be prepared to be dedicated and put the hard work in. Again, there's times you reflect. There's times you think, I think to myself, oh God, why am I still doing this? There's more to life than this. And you get good weeks, you get bad weeks, but you need to take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
Definitely, I'm a big believer in that. So just being consistent, really. And it's like you put the hard work in, it'll eventually pay itself back.
Definitely.
That's my takeaway for this episode. Consistency is key.
100%. And
But
organisation's
also,
a big thing.
an organisation, but also I think you've been very open and honest,
Yeah.
and talked about mental health and work-life balance and whatever. And I think these are all brilliant messages to take away for
100%.
other
Especially if
people.
you've got a young family, they're not going to stay young forever.
Yeah.
I've started to realise that. And I feel bad for my daughter. She's nearly 5, and her dad's just now starting to realise that. I feel that I've looked. I came in for work at night, and I'm like, my God, where's my wee girl? She gives you pure attitude now. So it's like,
But that only gets worse.
I know. So it's like, I don't take it for granted anymore.
Yeah.
You know that if they need something, I'm there. And work can wait. I've started the last year and a half, especially. I've started to really realise that. As I say, running the business, getting it to where I need to be, and purely running on adrenaline the last couple of years, I believe. I wouldn't say I've slowed down, because I've not slowed down. I'm still the exact same. The jobs are progressing. I just don't need to do as much because I've got such a big team now behind me. It gives me that time to free up with my family now and again. But at the same time, I'm still there if clients and my guys need me as well. So I just don't want to be greedy and do more. And it's like you say, it's your own health. If you're not there, the business isn't running.
Absolutely.
So you need to take care of yourself as well.
Brilliant.
It's
Thank
been
you so
great.
much.
Honestly, it's been so good having you on, and I've been hunting you down for all this time. So thank you for
I'm
joining
glad
us.
I could get here.
Just for the listeners out there, just let the guys know where you can be found on social media.
So Future Building Developments on Instagram, and the same again on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn, and obviously the Gmail. So it's futurebuildingdevelopments@gmail.com if you wanted to email an inquiry.
Love that. Well,
Perfect.
thank you so
Alrighty.
much, Connor.
Thank you for having me. It's been a
Brilliant.
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
That's a wrap.